Hi everyone! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is the first time that you're here, welcome. For those of you who don't know me, my name is 𝐓𝐈𝐌𝐄𝐒, and on this channel, I aim to help you enhance your quality of life, whether it's academically, personally, or professionally. So let's get straight to this video. The topic of today's video is why you should never give people the opportunity to mock you. Now, let me make myself very clear. I do acknowledge that there are cases where mockery is something you can really not control. This is how people react towards you, and this is something that the way people react towards you is something that you can't control, right? But I think that when it comes to mockery, there are aspects of how it becomes manifested that inherently was caused because of how we might have unconsciously enabled people to make a mockery out of us. What do I mean by that? So I believe that the way mockery is manifested in this world, let's say that you are somebody, right? And you are maybe watching this and your whole life, let's say people have mocked you, or people have mostly disrespected you on multiple occasions, whether it was at school, in the workforce, or just in public settings, and you don't know why this is happening to you, right? I want to make this video because I've been that person once upon a time. When I was in high school, I was that person who people mocked, or I was a source of entertainment for people. But over the years, as I grew older, I completely shifted the narrative by claiming back my energy. And I believe that mockery inherently is caused because you enable people to, or you open that opportunity for people to mock you. How do you do that? The more I noticed the way society works, the more I notice that people that are very powerful and successful people in the world are people that they're able to command respect, they're able to have authority, and when they speak, their words hold value because they've mastered the art of silence, saying less, not talking any more than is necessary. Whereas on the other hand, you have people that immediately they want to make their presence known. They want to talk, and they're very, very talkative. They're very, very loud. And when they talk, the more their words lose value to people, and the more they talk, the more like some of the things they said are not really based on facts, and they just keep talking to fill the silence of a room. They don't know when to keep quiet, and they just keep talking and talking and talking. These are people that I notice tend to get people to really not only do people not even have respect for people that tend to talk a lot, but it also opens a gateway for people to mock this type of group of people that are talkative, talk a lot, say a lot of things, try to fill the room with words when it's not needed, and whatnot. The next point that I want to raise is that I believe mockery can be manifested in two key ways. The first way that mockery can be manifested is that it could be subtle. So this can happen, let's say, in a group setting, in a friendship dynamic with a group of friends, where you view yourself as the entertainment, or you're the source of entertainment for your friends, right? And your friends, they always want to turn towards you as a comedic relief to help them escape their problems. And mind you, there's nothing wrong with when you want to make your friends laugh, and it happens occasionally here and there, and they laugh and stuff like that. But there's a difference between when people laugh with you and when people laugh at you. And that is something that I think in a lot of dynamics, whether friendship, it's something where the line gets blurred. because you're constantly viewed as a source of entertainment, or like quote unquote the clown of the group, it gives people an opportunity for them to mock you indirectly or directly, and you may not even know it if it's indirectly, right? And the second type of mockery that is manifested is a mockery that is very direct, right? That is really a mockery where you can tell when people are laughing at you and they are mocking you, right? So it's so apparent, like it's a kind of in your face thing. So when I'm talking about mockery, I think that we live in a very cold-blooded society where people, whether it's people you see in the workforce, in school, in other public settings, people are constantly preying on your downfall. And one way that we allow people to accelerate their attempt to cause us to lose our reputation or tarnish our reputation is by overly talking, being overly talkative, being somebody that is mingled in gossip, somebody that doesn't know how to economize their words, somebody that just doesn't have the sense of discipline with what they share with other people publicly, right? And I'll give an example, especially in the workforce. In the workforce, I think it's a very good example because this is a place where people are constantly in competition with each other, right? And when you are somebody that talks a lot in this type of settings, and you're somebody that just doesn't know when to economize your words, when to say less, allow other people, your colleagues, to speak, whether it's in team meetings, you are somebody that avoids gossip, you're not too much a part of the crowd, you keep to yourself, you say less, you don't talk more than is necessary. In those type of settings, you earn people's respect without even realizing it because you were able to say less, and you are able to unconsciously earn people's trust because you're not mixing in gossip. You don't tend to talk behind the backs of your colleagues. You don't tend to denigrate other people when you're talking to others. You are just somebody that keeps to themselves and you economize your words. You're very quiet. But on the other hand, when you are somebody that talks a lot and you are somebody that overly shares their lives to other people, colleagues that you don't even know like that. You talk about your personal experiences, you talk about your family, problems you're having with your family, you talk about events that happened, whether it was during a trip, and you don't know how to kind of like limit the amount of words you say to keep your privacy. It opens this gateway for people to mock you. I'll give an example with a personal experience I went through last year. So I used to work for this corporation, and I remember at the time, because I really wanted to prove my points, I had ideas and I wanted to share them with my team and my manager. I noticed that the more I was trying to explain myself and justify why I believed a approach should be taken, the less I was taken seriously. Mind you, my role was entry level, so I felt like there were things that could be improved there, and I was trying to throw my ideas, but I felt that the more I tried to justify why I believed we should apply the ideas I had and why I thought they were practical, the less people were taking me seriously. So what did I do? Well, I told myself, this is helpless. I'm over explaining myself, over justifying myself, trying to get people to accept my ideas. Why don't I just stop? And that's what I did. I literally stopped trying to convince other people about concepts I had. And as soon as I started to become more silent and observant, I'm not saying that my ideas started being implemented, but I started to notice that people were starting to, you know, want to hear more from me, and they wanted to hear what I had to say about certain points of views. And the less I spoke, the more they started to think about the possibility of actually putting into practice the ideas I pitched once upon a time. All because I kept quiet. No longer was I trying to assert my views during team meetings. No longer was I trying to prove a point, make my presence known. I just completely withdrew, pulled back my energy to take control of my energy. And once I did that, the dynamic immediately changed. It was insane. So that's what I'm trying to explain when I say that you need to learn to preserve and economize your words. Say less, especially when you are in professional settings like work or even at school, right? So based on everything that I just said, I want to give you 3 essential tips that have helped me from being a person that was subjected to mockery in high school towards becoming the woman that I am today, which is a woman of less words and a woman that commands respect. So tip number 1, I would definitely recommend that you learn to become more observant in your life, which automatically entails that you have to learn to speak less. And this circles back to what I was saying earlier about the workforce. When you are somebody that's talkative and you want to pitch ideas, innovative ideas, even if the ideas you may be pitching are practical, because you've oversaid them and you over-justify them, it causes your words to become less valuable to your colleagues and essential manager. But when you learn to just be in your observing energy and you say less, you only talk when is necessary, my goodness, you are going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I also want to add that when you observe, it really allows you to see people and how they act. You have a better understanding of dynamics, office politics, or if, let's say, you're not in the workforce and you're just with your friends or whatever, like just being able to speak less and observe can help you gain a lot of information about how people behave. And you gain so much knowledge because of the simple fact that rather than speaking a lot, you just withdrew and observed. It's an incredible, powerful technique. Like observing, it really helps you to learn a lot about people around you. And it can sometimes lead to you learning about their intentions if you weren't somebody that paid attention to that. So the second tip that I would like to give is that I would say you need to learn to prioritize your personal growth. So what I noticed about people that tend to mock others, these are people that are operating from a low vibrational energy. So low vibrational energy it's basically operating from a place of scarcity, a place of fear, a place of anger, envy, jealousy, and judgmental. And being judgmental, that's what I mean. So when you are somebody that's operating from an energy of low vibration, you will tend to become more judgmental of others. You will be gossiping about other people, and you won't really focus on becoming a better version of yourself. Which is why when you are somebody that is prioritizing personal development and self-improvement, you are increasing your vibration to attain this high vibrational energy. And as a result, what ends up happening is that rather than attracting people that tend to mock you, you immediately detach yourself from that kind of mindset, scarcity mindset and judgmental mindset, and you attract people that are also looking to improve themselves, people that are also striving to become better versions of themselves. So therefore, they cannot operate from from a lens of being judgmental, of being envious, jealous, condescending. Like they are striving to become the best version of themselves. So that automatically is the type of people that you will attract as you're embarking on this personal growth journey. And then the third tip that I want to emphasize is to not match the energy of low vibrational people. So circling back to what I was saying earlier about how we live in a cold-blooded society. And when I was talking about the workforce, what I tend to notice a lot in the workforce is that there are people that want you to fail, right? As I was mentioning earlier. So when you are somebody that you keep to yourself, you're not talkative, you are somebody that is strategic with your words, you don't really talk much, you command respect, and you are less likely to fall prey to traps that other colleagues or even managers are trying to set in your path to make you fail, right? So I'll give an example. I used to work in a department, and I had a supervisor who he preyed on employees, and he preyed on them failing. And I remember I didn't really get along with him. Shocker. And I remember there were times where he would try to get me to react, to get out of character, to burst out of anger so that he could maybe justify to other people that, oh, see, she got out of character. She's this, she's that. And a way to tarnish my reputation. But I always practice the art of detachment and observation, because I knew that if I started to get out of character, if I started to become angry, if I started to over justify myself and insult him, I would be matching his energy, lowering my vibration to match his low vibration, and that wasn't going to work with me. So you need to be very mindful of people that want to see you fail. They want to see you lower your vibration so that you can match theirs. And they just want to see you get out of character. But when you starve their ego by not reacting to the childish tactics and immature tactics that they're trying to throw your way, you become so powerful, you claim back your energy towards yourself. Guys, I cannot stress enough how not entertaining people that want to see you get out of character is one of the best things you can do for yourself as a person. It's a very powerful technique. So if you've made it towards the end of this video, thank you. I hope that the tips I was able to give you would help you to realize that you have potential. You are somebody that deserves to be taken seriously. And if throughout your entire existence you were the subject of mockery, I'm here to tell you, as somebody that was once on that side, it is possible for you to change your narrative completely and become somebody that commands respect, somebody that people look up to, and somebody that says less. You can become that person as well. And we're on this journey together. I'll see you on the next video. Bye, my loves.